Alright, so first things first, and you have to keep watching me just do the same pans over and over again on this board. I know it's most likely getting a little bit tiresome, but the Are You Afraid of the Dark game is a game made for at least 2 to 5. One person has to be what is known as the storyteller. For those who are used to Dungeons and Dragons, they are a kind of a dungeon master. They will control all of the monsters. They will control the events of the overall adventure. The read out loud areas. And so really, the person who is the storyteller role here, they are separate from the heroes here, and they kind of guide the actual players here in through the entire thing. I absolutely promise I will kind of go into more detail here about what the role of the storyteller is, but just know is they're pretty much just a very cut back dungeon master. 1 to 4 other people have to be the heroes of the story, and they are as followed with a jock, a cheerleader, a nerd, and a loner. I don't know who these folks are. I just found stock images of people. One of my things I have is, while I think that the blue turned out well on this here, and you can totally see that, it didn't turn out as well here. In fact, I'm sure you can't even see what that says, so you just kind of have to just believe me when I'm saying that, oh, this is what this says, this is what this says here. And so what happens is, again, one person has to be a storyteller, and at least 1 to 4 people have to be one of the heroes. And the objective of the game is to have the heroes here complete a goal. Each of these goals, and there are 20 of these goals, and I keep on showing this because they are decided by the storyteller simply rolling this and saying, okay, that's number 13. And they have a thought like this guide that they have to follow, and they go through the events of this guide here with all the heroes. So the heroes here again have to complete a certain goal, or the storyteller, they also have a certain goal, or they can try to frighten off all of the heroes here. So again, they have to do a certain goal. Storyteller, and I know this isn't a storyteller, but this is what I'm using for it. Anyways, a storyteller has to either complete their goal, which is described to them, or scare off all of the heroes here. Alrighty, so for the 4 skills here, they are as followed. There is strength, and I don't know if you can see those. Yeah, you can't even see those, but there is the strength skill, which is used for battling the Are You Afraid of the Dark monsters. I will explain how combat works once we get to actual combat itself. There is the speed skill here, which is used for getting away from monsters, retreating from monsters, and moving. The number that you have of your speed is the number of squares you can move. For instance, the jock here has a speed of 4, meaning he can move 1, 2, 3, 4 or he can move up to 4 of the squares here. We'll get to kind of turn order here in a second. There is the courage skill. In this game, a monster doesn't try to attack you, it tries to scare you. And to stand up to it, you use the courage skill. And then finally, there is the knowledge skill. When you don't know where you are supposed to go next in the game, when a certain event calls for a knowledge check, you use the knowledge skill. Again, each of these heroes here are good at one thing, but not as good at something else. In this example, I'm using the jock and the nerd, um, and then the other thing here is there is the fear meter. Again, just pretend that's not there. What the fear meter is essentially your character's hit points. It starts off at 0, and once it gets to 20, your character becomes so scared they run away. Game over for that character. And you can raise the fear meter here by certain event cards, which we'll get to here in a second, by the monsters trying to scare you. There are several different things. There are also ways you can bring it back down. And so that's what that is. And so, with that being said, we chose our two characters, the nerd and the jock, and they got them on the board here. And this board is set up. And again, I know this is just me doing everything, but how it would normally work is each person would roll the 6-sided die, and the one who gets like the highest on it, they would go first, followed by the next person in clockwise order. The person who is a storyteller always goes last, and unfortunately, the storyteller isn't going to be doing anything until either there is a monster on the board or the characters discover the area that's supposed to trigger the rest of the game. And so you're probably thinking to yourself, gee, Tom, I still don't really know what's going on, but let's go ahead with the board set up here with kind of just a very quick explaining what each of the 4 skills are, the fear meter, the areas. Let's go ahead and get this going here, and we'll explain as we go.